till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Time for Brand Touch. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, who gets it done? We're leaning on each other. It's Joey Rainey. It's Andrew Bound coming to the stripe. Stone Colby's right there with them. Checkered flag is out. Who gets it done? It's a photo finish for Brand Touch coming to the line.
For the push, I don't know. This is going to be a photo finish.
Oh, Stone Colby taking the checkered flag to the inside. Who's it going to be? It's a photo finish. Give it to Brendan Burt. Conquers Watkins Glen. Gets turned across the line.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure. From the lightweight precision of Formula 4 to the weight, power, and aggression of GT3 machinery, the West Coast Sim Racing GTF Challenge changes character once again. And tonight, it does so at the legendary Mount Panorama. Bathurst is not a circuit that allows drivers time to adjust. The climb up the mountain straight, the narrow run across the top, and high-speed descent towards Conrad demand complete commitment from the opening lap. There are walls on both sides, little room for correction and consequences waiting for anyone who steps beyond the limit. After racing Formula 4s in the previous round, the fuels must adapt to heavy machinery, longer braking distances, greater tire load, and a very different approach to traffic and corner exit. The drivers who make that transition quickly could take control of the night. Those who do not may find Mount Panorama exposing every weakness. The championship has shifted back to GT3 competition. The mountain is waiting, and one of the toughest tests of the season is now. This is West Coast Sim Racing's GTF Challenge at Mount Panorama, and it's time to go racing. Thank you very much for joining us around the 3.8 mile circuit that was founded in 1938 in Bathurst, Australia. 23 corners for the drivers to contest, 14 to the left, 9 to the right, with 571 feet of elevation change. Conrad Straight coming in at 1.1 miles long. Couple keys to their race that the drivers are going to have to come to terms with quick, fast, in a hurry. They're going to have to quickly adapt from GT4s to GT3s. They're going to have to survive the top of the mountain from Reed Park to Skyline in the S's. Maximize their run onto the Conrad Straight out of Forest Elbow. Manage traffic, tires, and pressure. Let's see if the drivers can do that here on their charge this evening. Qualifying just about ready to conclude, but let's take a look at the GT3 Championship. Onofre leads with 84 points over Brendan Birch. Josh Hunter in third. Alex Andreu, Benito Gonzalez, Nico Colby, Connor Cunningham, Warren Johnson, Brendan Myers, Mitch Crowther, Dylan Lee, Colton Juarez, Jeremy Fletcher, Colin Thomas, Boris Dragovich, Mason Olney, and Jacob Ballin round out the 17 drivers in the top spots. Take a look here. It's Brendan Myers leading Nico Colby, then Edwin Onofre and Josh Hunter. And Brendan Birch, Alex Andre, Connor T. Cunningham. Dylan Lee, Benito Gonzalez, Warren Johnson, Boris Dragovich, Jacob Ballin, Colin Thomas, Nathaniel Redmond, Thomas Divley, and Mason Olney. Going to be the 16 drivers taking to the grid today. Nico, then number 16, looking pretty in the vehiclebuyers.com Lamborghini. And that'll be Nico Colby's last attempt there. Josh Hunter being in another lovely Lamborghini. It's definitely a manufacturer's showdown tonight. We got the Fords, the Lambos, then the Porsches, and a pair of Ferraris, the Cavalieri Rampantes. What can they do from further down the order? Will their consistency drive them to the top spot of the podium? Session concluded now. And we'll take a look at the official qualifying order. Take a look at the results. Brendan Myers, Nico Colby, and Edwin Onofre, the 1, 2, 3. And Josh Hunter, Brendan Birch, Alex Andreu, Connor Cunningham, Dylan Lee, Benito Gonzalez, Warren Johnson, Boris Dragovich, Jacob Ballin, Nathaniel Redmond, Mason Olney, and Thomas Divley. Ballin up into 12th position. Not too shabby of a run there. Drivers getting gridded up. Let's take a look at our starting grid, shall we? It'll be Brendan Myers and Nico Colby on that first row. Then on the second row, it's going to be Edwin Onofre and Josh Hunter. Row number 3 belongs to Brandon Birch and Alexe Andreu. Row number 4 goes the way for Connor T. Cunningham and Dylan Lee. Row number 5, excuse me, Camilo Gonzalez and Warren Johnson in row 5. Row number 6 for Boris Dragovich and Jacob Bolin. Love the Bolin livery. Row number 7 for Colin Thomas and Nathaniel Redmond in P14. Row 8 going away for Mason Olney and Thomas Dibley. And as we get ready to take this green flag start, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to everybody here now in the YouTube chat cheering on their favorite drivers. I see you, Mr. Birch. I see you, Hayden Hinchcliffe. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, folks. Ready for the green flag. Coming in towards Hell Corner. Green, green, green. The number 36 takes a peek out. Brandon Birch further down the order than he'd like to be on this first row. Brennan Myers all the way up into first place, trying to hold steadfast right now. Nico Colby, the number 16. Then Edwin Onofre, Josh Hunter in the background, also looking to mount an attack. With this starting order, you look at Jacob Bolland even. He's up one position, got one done on Boris Dragovich. This is going to be the run up the mountain straight into Quarry Bend. Then we find ourselves headed towards the cutting. Boris Dragovich and Jacob Bolland ended up sorting themselves out. Or do they end up sorting themselves out at the cutting? They end up going wheel to wheel. And there is a car turned around. That might be Warren Johnson. That is Warren Johnson turned around. Oh, and that's going to be the end of his race tonight for this heat, at least. Ray Myers still leading us. Edwin Onofre in P2, and we have Nico Colby running in third. Beautiful are these Mustangs, and they sound lovely. A pair of Stangs and a pair of the Lamborghinis running nose to tail. Brandon Birch being the first of the Porsches out onto the racetrack tonight. Number 36 always looking good here on the racetrack with West Coast Sim Racing. Take a look at these intervals now, where it's going to be a driver's circuit today. Drivers are definitely going to have to get their best lap times in and really battle with the stopwatch rather than battle with each other. A short stint means no pit stop is required for the field, so the drivers can really just go all out if they want to. But will that be the best strategy? Probably not, as drivers end up jostling for position. Especially if you try to attack or mount an attack here up the mountain. It's very tricky to get anything done on a slower moving vehicle. Nico Colby having a little bit of a slip up there at the cutting. Driver is getting narrowly up to the wall. Let's take a ride on board, and there's a big mistake from Brennan Myers. He's going to lose out a ton of time to Edwin Onofre as he steps off a couple wheels off at Skyline out of McPhillamy Park. Again, because there's no doing. Oh, and there goes Nico Colby out into the barriers at Forest Elbow. Myers ahead of Onofre. How long will this head-to-head last? Because Onofre leads the championship, probably wants to get one done and continue his championship lead right now over the rest of the field. Take a look at this. He mounts an attack coming down into the final corner. Orb Murray's looks at the outside line, but he tries to get a switchback. A little wiggle there on exit from Brennan Myers. Gonna challenge him. And it looks like Onofre is gonna be able to go through and through at held corner. A nice look at the stamp and ascend. He set that one up from a couple corners back. That's just how tricky it is here at Brands Hatch, excuse me, at Bathurst. My mind is just all over the place today. I apologize, folks. Here comes the Fords on each other's charge. Into Quarry Bend, no mounted attack yet. Brennan Myers wanting to get something done, I can only imagine. Let's take a look at the positions gained and lost right now. Onofre up to Myers, down one. Colby, Nico down one as he has a little bit of a moment with the barriers there. Thomas Dibley and McLaren on Ferrari battle is what we usually see. And this pair of drivers, Colin Thomas and Thomas Dibley, having a good old time battling for P12, P13. Here at West Coast Sim Racing, we're all about quick, fast racing, folks. 1 15-minute heat is going to go by in a blink of an eye, especially at the mountain. Take a look at the battle for the lead yet again. Warren Johnson down and out of this one. Not nearly. He's still running around in P15 right now. Not too badly damaged. Nico Colby and Josh Hunter gonna run this one down to the checkered flag. I can only presume. Oh, Josh Hunter, a little chirp there. From the Lamborghini Huracan, naturally aspirated V10. At 500 horsepower. Mid-engine rear drive vehicle, around 180 miles per hour is its top speed. We talked about this before with the Sausage Dodgers. The versatility of the Lamborghini proves to be one of the reasons why it's so dominant. Sharp, aggressive, and dramatic, and uses the same motor platform as the Audi. New one to be coming out soon, of course, as well as the lovely Lexus or Toyota, whatever we're going to brand it. GT3 coming out next year. And a Cyberpunk machine looked to the inside line, coming down the chase, but to no avail. Nico Colby didn't blink a single moment at that. Didn't give it a single moment's thought that Brennan Myers Josh Hunter was going to go for the attack, but it might be the attack now into hell corner. Nico Colby dips a couple wheels off into the dirt, and that's going to hurt his exit. Here comes the young Josh Hunter, and he's going to throw down with Nico Colby. The drag begins all the way down the mountain straight. The duo side by side. All the way down the mountain straight. into Corey Bend, over the crest. Now we get to the braking zone. Right when you see that runoff road on the left, Birch not in touch of this battle right now. It's going to be Myers and Josh Hunter taking advantage of P2 and P3. What a good job from Josh Hunter to get up into third. Myers now under threat with under 6 minutes left to go. What can he do with the chasing Lamborghini pair? Go Colby down 2 positions from when he got that good lap in from qualifying. Perhaps that's all it was one good lap, and he cannot produce another one. We'll find out post-race what happened to Nico. Great job from the entire field, though, to keep it clean for the most part, other than our one incident that we had coming into the cutting with Warren Johnson. Get a replay of that and see actually what happened to Warren Johnson going into the cutting. Whoa, and there's a car off. That'll be the 2 up ahead. That's Dylan Lee, and that's what caused the entire kerfuffle. Josh Hunter with a nice drift out of the final corner, though, will really challenge his charge. Nico Colby taking a full advantage of that situation, saying, "You did the same thing to me last lap. I'm going to do it to you this time, Pie." Though Josh Hunter is going to have the draft on Nico Colby. Let's see what he can do with it. Josh Hunter on the attack. Now that Nico Colby's back in front, what can Hunter do? Take a look at the last lap times. Myers being the faster of the trio by a country mile. And that's why these 2 are left to their own devices now. Did Brendan Myers have an incident? What happened to Brendan Myers? As he's now right in front. Let's see what happens to Myers here. Oh, he has a moment at the top of the hill. That's early on in the race, though. I'm not seeing another incident for Brendan Myers. The gap just dramatically came down. Let's take a look at the lap times one more again. There it is. A 1 second gain all of a sudden. 2:03.2 from Brennan is highly unusual. We'll talk to Brendan Myers post-race about his run and see what he can do about doing a little bit better and maybe throw down with Edwin Onofre next time by. Edwin is, though, into the 201s versus the 202.32s. Edwin has been running like a bull in a china shop. White flag, white flag. Brennan Myers goes backwards. Nico Colby throws down the gauntlet. Coming to the white flag lap into the final corner. Brennan Myers making mistakes. Here goes Nico Colby through hell corner side by side. Chasing down is Josh Hunter. Sees the duo up ahead. The drag race begins down the mountain straight. Two Lamborghinis are better than one Ford all by itself, apparently, because the two Lamborghinis working together have slingshotted themselves in front of Myers, who's down 3 positions now. Brendan Myers, who started off this race in the lead of it, tumbled down outside the podium onto the final lap. It's all due to the hard charge and consistency of Nico Colby and Josh Hunter. Brendan Myers doing everything that he possibly could to keep it on the tarmac. Made one tiny mistake one more time. Warren Johnson into the pits on the final lap. Not sure what that is about. The win tonight is going to go the way of one man and one man only for now. Edwin Onofre, the 199, has been dominant this evening as he's performed with style and grace and consistency this evening. Great drive, bring it home for Edwin Onofre. Further back, Nico Colby and Josh Hunter, Brennan Myers and Birch, Alexe Andreu, Dylan Lee, Benito Gonzalez, Mason Only, and Connor Cunningham bump wheels as they drag it out through the final chicane. Mason Only is going to challenge the Porsche in the 502. Side by side into the final corner of Murray's. A lick of the stamp and ascend, but it's going to be a drag race between the duo. It's going to be the Porsche on top. Connor T. Cunningham over Only. Jacob Bolin in 11, Thomas Divley in 12th, Colin Thomas and Boris Dragovich. Take a look at the results for heat number 1. Edwin Onofre, Nico Colby, and Josh Hunter took the 1, 2, 3. Then it'll be Brendan Myers in 4th place, Brendan Birch in 5th, Alexe Andreu, Dylan Lee, Benito Gonzalez, Connor T. Cunningham, Mason Only, Jacob Bolin, Thomas Divley, Boris Dragovich, Warren Johnson, and Nathaniel Redmond. Brief warm-up period before we go racing one more time for the feature race. Want to give a big shout out and thanks to everybody joining us live now or in the future. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications for when we go live next here on AK Esports UK or West Coast Sim Racing. We wouldn't be here without the love and support of all of our sponsors and all of our drivers. So if you're either of those, thank you very much for showing up, showing out, and respecting West Coast Sim Racing. Take a look at our starting grid. It'll be Benito Gonzalez. We're still in the warm-up period. I apologize. Still a minute left to go. Myers Racing ran out of fuel towards the end. No way. Was wondering why you dropped like a stone. Oh, tragic, Brennan. What a good run. You were on such a good run tonight. Talk to Warren. We should probably do interviews during the warm-up period. That would be nice. Love to talk to the drivers mid-race if they have the capability and ability to do so. I know some drivers are in VR. I don't want to disturb them, but we will see. Now let's take a look at that grid, shall we? Here's our starting grid, folks. Edwin Onofre and Nico Colby on that first row. Number 2 going the way of Josh Hunter and Brennan Myers. Row number 3 is going to belong to Brandon Birch and Alexei Andreu. Row number 4 for Dylan Lee and Benito Gonzalez. Dylan Lee and Mason Only on row number 5. Conti Cunningham and Mason Only, Jacob Bolland and Thomas Divley. And we have Colin Thomas and Boris Dragovich. Row number 8 belonged to Warren Johnson and Nathaniel Redmond. Row number 9 going this way. That way, Warren Johnson and Nathaniel Redmond not taking the race start or starting from pit lane. Not taking the race start by the looks of it. Drama, drama, drama. Green, green, green is in the air. Onofre, Nico Colby, Josh Hunter, Brennan Myers, Brennan Birch, Alexei Andreu. Side by side, the 2x2 bout is Noah's Ark all the way through 1. Run down to turn 2, Josh Hunter and Brennan Myers going after it. Nico Colby throwing his elbows out as well. That'll be the other Lamborghini, the white one, this time by getting up into P3. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Josh Hunter getting his way up into P2. Hold on, hold the phone. Brennan Myers and Nico Colby are going to go all the way door to door, and off goes Myers. The 23 Ford Mustang loses out ground coming through Griffin's Mount into Reed Park. Solomon Park leaves him wounded. All the way up to Skyline is to where he can recover, finally catch his breath and get back underneath him. Those tires need to cool off for just a moment before he can go back after it. There is no damage for heat number 2, but the drivers will have to contend with the heat from their mistakes. Alexei Andreu and Dylan Lee go wheel to wheel down the Conrad Straight. Out of the Forest Elbow, though, it'll be Alexei in the Bananamobile who has the better drag over Dylan Lee. Up here into the chase, it'll be Nico Colby ahead of Birch. And Birch loses out a ton of speed. And that counterpart, Ford, might take advantage of the situation. That's Brennan Myers I don't think Myers is going to necessarily look for consent with this overtake. I think he's perhaps going to present his nose and scare Birch into a mistake or two, and there's the mistake on exit. The wiggle begins from Myers. Side by side, the duo go all the way down the mountain straight into the braking zone. The 36 on the inside line backs out of it. The Ford Mustang around the outside carries the speed and the drive into the cutting. We go into the next braking zone. It'll belong to Brendan Myers, then Brendan Birch in third, then fourth. Nico Colby leads Myers. I was saying earlier on, what could have been, what could have was for a couple of drivers. I think that goes for this driver as well. Josh Hunter chases down Edwin Onofre. The Cyberpunk machine looks to battle with the race winner from last time out. Brendan Myers and Nico Colby also wanted to go wheel to wheel, but it's all about your exit out of the forest elbow. Myers getting all over the rear end of Nico Colby, gets himself alongside at the kink. A dramatic place to overtake, and that prevented the 16 from being able to turn in. Battle for the podium, battle for the lead as well. We'll keep our eyes glued here, and we'll keep our eyes peeled for the timing tower and see what can come up next. Speaking of what's coming up next, it's going to be Birch and Nico Colby now. As Colby loses ground, keeps on slinking back and forth in the order. Josh Hunter sits behind Edwin Onofre by about half a second or so. The gap continues to come down. Colin Thomas getting chased down by Jacob Bolin, the man driving the playmat livery. Playmat livery seems to be working out well because Jacob Bolin has gained a position. Colin Thomas has gained 4. Still not bad of a run. To be able to survive the mountain is the main thing you want to do and accomplish. Lap after lap, consistency is what you're looking for. Speaking of consistency, that's not it, Chief. Leaving himself vulnerable to Connor Cunningham. Porsche on Porsche violence could begin at any moment. Connor Cunningham thinks cooler heads will prevail. Take a look here. Nico Colby makes a mistake coming out of the chase. Allows Brendan Birch look to the inside line, but you can look, but you can't touch. We don't want no drama. No drama. 36 on the inside. Makes the overtake at Hell's Corner, and he gets that one done. Brendan Birch up into 4th position. In case nobody got the reference, that was the Fergie song, Fergalicious, but my rendition. The iRacing remix. Edwin Onofre still in the lead, but just barely. Josh Hunter waiting for a critical mistake now. 7 minutes on the clock, leaving us with just the final 20. Means we'll see just 9 more laps, if I'm not mistaken. Be a short run, but a very long lap here at the mountain panorama. Founded in 1938, been unchanged since 87. A track length of 3.8 miles. Of course, the track owes its pioneering vision to one man, Bathurst Mayor Martin Griffin, for which a corner on the track is named after Griffin's Mount. Josh Hunter half a second away. Drivers bobbing and weaving for position. Ballin trying to defend back Connor Cunningham. And up ahead, it looks like Colin Thomas has mounted a good defense as well. The opening begins for the inside line into Murray's corner, where Connor Cunningham sits back in the wings. A little bit of dirt kicked up in the background. I think Connor dipped a couple wheels off into the gravel, or into the grass, I should say, on braking. Mullen, Cunningham, Thomas, the trio sandwiching the Playmobile right now. A little mistake there from Bolland, opens up the gap between himself and Thomas, but gaps come and go here at Mount Panorama. Josh Hunter all over the rear end of Edwin Onofre. It's going to be the drag into hell corner between the duo. Let's look at the head-to-head now between Josh Hunter and Edwin Onofre. Losing just a marginal amount per lap. We all know it's one thing to catch, it's a whole nother to pass. Mount Panorama presents a whole new challenge. Basically a single lane of driving for everybody to be on. There's nowhere to hide. Mistakes, they can be race ending. Only Redmond and Johnson out of this one this evening. Edwin Onofre continuing his battle with Josh Hunter. Here's the trio again. Battle for 7th position. Dylan Lee and Gonzalez are separated by quite some time on the racetrack. 1.9 seconds between them. That'll be Bolland's mistake, and Colin Thomas is going to get through. flip it and reverse that. Excuse me, Connor. Watch this one more time. The attack from Connor Cunningham on Jacob Bolland. Then Connor Cunningham making the attack. The inside line on Colin Thomas. Goes for a pass on the grass and makes that one work the dirty way. And I mean that in the best way. Getting wheels off into the dirt is the dirty way. Not that the move was dirty. I thought it was beautiful. Oh! Nico Colby. The bravery and commitment to get around Birch there. Like Birch was standing still or was a back marker even. Colby and Birch separate themselves by half saying, what happened to Josh Hunter? Has Hunter decided to conserve fuel? Let's keep our eyes peeled on Bolland. Mr. Birch, not sure what was going on there. Brendan was significantly slower going into or going down the mountain straight. Not sure what could have caused that much of a speed differential. And I'm not seeing an interesting incident. Let's see if this might be it. If I can rewind it properly. Oh, Birch off the racetrack at the top of the mountain at Skyline. Ooh. So that was after the pass was made. Myers went off the track there. But what happened to Birch? I'm not seeing anything come up. Take a look at this again. The overspeed is just so prevalent. And right into the braking, the commitment is just bold. No other way to dive that one up as both drivers, Brendan Birch and Alexei Andreu, both end up making a little bit of tender touches with the wall. I would say they graze the wall, but that's what cows do, and we're in Australia where we've got kangaroos. I guess kangaroos can graze as well. Yeah, we can graze. Here into the chase with almost the final 10 minutes left to go. Let's hear some predictions. Who's going to come out on top and who's going to be best of the rest at the end of the night? Bolland here, still behind Colin Thomas. Let's not forget about him. Dylan Lee and Alexei Andreu are separated by around 7.4 seconds, but Dylan Lee and Benito Gonzalez are only separated by around a quarter of a second. Warren Johnson in the YouTube chat saying, Edwin will continue to dominate. Edwin has put in a lot of serious effort this season. He's been really committed to sim racing in general. I think good things will happen to him in the future in his sim racing career just because of how focused and how professionally he takes this. Warren, more than welcome to join me in the broadcast booth as always. I know you're out of the race. I was wondering why you didn't join me already. And more than free to just hang out and enjoy the show, my friend. And this is not a track where mistakes can be hidden, as we said in the pre-race intro. Mistakes cost deeply. Dylan Lee chasing down Alexei, but Benito Gonzalez has more to say about that. Warren Johnson, how dare you disrespect Mr. Birch like that? That's Mr. Birch to you, young man. My goodness, I apologize on behalf of this young whippersnapper, Mr. Birch. I'll beat him around after the broadcast, don't worry. Of the wall there for owner free. Warren, no problem, my friend. No problem, my friend. Headed into the final 7 minutes of this race. Let's do some quick commentators math and figure out how many laps we have left. They're doing 2:02s right now, 2:01s from Josh Hunter. When they cross the line, they'll have just about 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. 246 plus 1? 3 plus 1, maybe? Question mark? Someone help me with some math there. Jacob Bolland trying to close down that gap, losing out ground, catching back up, or getting caught by Boris Dragovich. Brendan Birch getting attacked by Nico Colby here. 36 chased down by the number 16, and the number 19 trails in the background. The Bathurst 1000 held at Mount Panorama is one of the longest running and most prestigious endurance races in the world. It's been, of course, a staple of Australian motorsport since its inception back in 1960. Over the years, of course, it has evolved from a 500-mile race to a grueling 1,000-kilometer event, making it the true test of skill, strategy, teamwork for drivers and the teams alike. This is exactly what you want to see. Drivers going nose to tail with commitment. Do some of the fastest parts of the track. Drivers not holding anything back on each other. Going for gold here. So Colby tries to throw down with Birch. And Jacob Bullen passed Colin Thomas for P10. Let's go, the Bullen fans. Let's hear it in the chat. Wheel to wheel in the background between Alexei Andreu and Nico Colby. Out of Forrest Elbow, he was a little slow. Alexei Andreu takes advantage of the situation, cuts back in front at the kink, under braking for the chase, gets it planted, pitch perfect. Colby bobbing and weaving, under braking, looking for a way through. Benito Gonzalez and the two of Dylan Lee come together. Get a replay of what happened here. Under braking into the chase. Looks like the Ferrari goes in too deep, just like some 41, and the two comes back on track and gives the position right back. That's a gentleman's way to handle it. This lap plus one more, and the checker will fly. Onofre, Hunter, Myers. 1, 2, 3. Myers on a bit of an island. Birch not alone anymore as Alexei Andreu is nearing. Nico Colby going for a move at Skyline is a bit dangerous, brother. Holy Toledo, but they make it through cleanly somehow, some way. White flag will be waved this time by Barney the flag man waving us down. Here comes the run into Hell Corner. Can anybody do anything to stop these guys? On to the penultimate lap. Nico Colby still trying to find out what the rest of the field is up to. Scoping out the opponents in front is good race data to have. But here on the penultimate lap is P6 too far down the order to get a good haul of points for this mixed up championship. GT3's 1 week, GTF's the next. Onofre going slowly at the top of the hill. Now we're headed on to the white flag lap. I apologize, folks. Edwin Onofre and Josh Hunter are going to take the white flag from Barney here. Barney on the ground waving the white flag, letting the leaders know that they're just one lap away from this conclusion. What about the trio here? Birch still under threat. Colby trying to mount one. A little bit of a push and a shove from Alexe into Birch coming through Hell Corner. All the way down the mountain straight. What can Hunter do from a little further back? He closes down the gap on Edwin Onofre. Take a look at the battle for the lead. Take a look at the battle for the top 5 right now. We can't look anywhere without seeing action. Hunter backs out of it at the forest elbow. Way too far back to make anything happen now. And a big spin from Andreu, a big spin from the 16, and they come together. Let's see what happens here at the Dippa. 19 slaughters the curb in the 16. Oh, the rear end becomes faster than the front, but it will be Edwin Onofre taking the checkered flag here at Bathurst. Josh Hunter in P2, Brendan Myers in 3rd, Brandon Birch in 4th. Nico Colby's going to bring it home in 5th. Alexe Andreu in 6th. Dylan Lee at 7th position. Benito Gonzalez in 8th. After coming together with Dylan Lee. Connor T. Cunningham in 9th. Jacob Bolland rounding out our top 10. Oh, big moment in the background. Drum in the background. That was Boris Dragovich. Yes, it was Boris Dragovich going off Forest elbow. Take a look at the results for the feature race, the provisional at the very least. Onofre, Hunter, Myers took the 1, 2, 3. Fast lap goes the way of Josh Hunter. Brendan Myers in 3rd, Brendan Birch in 4th. Nico Colby, Alexe Andreu, Dylan Lee, Benito Gonzalez, Connor Cunningham, Jacob Bolland, Boris Dragovich, Thomas Divley, Mason Olney, Warren Johnson, Nathaniel Redmond round out our top 15. Let's get to talking to our drivers here in just a moment. We'll get to interviewing our top 3. First, we'll talk to Brennan Myers. Driver came home in P3 tonight. Myers, man, what a run you had this evening. And amongst a grid of drivers that was absolutely packed with talent, how'd you be able to pull off a podium at the hell that is the mountain of Bathurst?
Well, it definitely starts with bringing enough fuel to finish the race. It definitely helps. So rule key number 1 was bring enough fuel plus a little bit extra just to finish the race. And then number 2, just keep it on track and out of the wall.
Now, this is a track that we said many times throughout the broadcast was one that does not forgive. How do you prepare for a track like this where it's almost a street course-esque going up the mountain?
About an hour of practice and about 2 hours of sleep last night.
Were you playing Minecraft with them? Gosh darn it.
No, I was not. No, I worked last night and then didn't get off late. And then I'm on the night shift schedule anyway. But yeah, just I love this track. I race on this one a lot. You just got to know all the little bumps and crevices to know all the camber for the tires. If you hit those marks, then the road will kind of help you hit your marks.
It worked out well for you in the end. Brennan, is there anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank on this podium here in Australia?
We'll shout out all the kangaroos in attendance that didn't jump out in the road in front of us. My grandparents who are probably watching as well. Appreciate them who like watching these races on Thursdays as well. And we'll do my cat. Cat's sitting here. I'm actually petting him right now.
Grandma and Grandpa Myers, if you're watching, big shout out to you guys. Thank you very much for your love and support. And Brennan, thank you very much for supporting West Coast Sim Racing. Have a great night, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll talk to Josh Hunter. Josh Hunter, now that was an amazing feature race that you had. I was wondering in Heat 1 what could have been if you were a little bit closer to Edwin Onofre. Well, Heat 2, you definitely answered that challenge. What else could you have done to try to win the race, or did you give it everything that you had?
I don't think there's much I could have done. Maybe not get the rear end a little bit loose on the last lap down the dipper, but that's about it. I'm really surprised with how the Lamborghini felt. It's usually a death trap here, and right tonight it felt really good, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I just made a lot of mistakes in the first race and stopped doing them in the second race, so it all worked out. And thankfully, the guys behind us were getting a little racy, so they left a big gap between for me and Edwin to get away, so that helped too.
What is it about the driving style or characteristics about the Lamborghini that makes it sharp, aggressive, and dramatic?
It seems like you just have to be patient with the downshifts, especially going into second or first, because that's when it likes to turn itself around. But I've gotten used to the car. I drive this car a lot, so it feels really good to me, and it's not really anything new. So I know a lot of people have a lot of difficulties trying to get some pace out of this car, but for me, it feels really good.
Right on, Josh. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you want to thank here on the podium?
Shout out to the guys behind me and Edwin once again for making a big gap so we can get a little bit comfortable up front. Warren for the league, you for the broadcast, and everyone else that joins these races.
Thank you very much, Josh Hunter. Thank you, supporting West Coast Sim Racing, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, last but not least, we have Mr. Edwin Onofre in the booth with us as well. Edwin, how are you feeling here in Victory Lane for not once, but twice tonight? Going for the hat trick, it seems.
Man, I'm so glad I was able to win this race because originally I was not supposed to be in this race. My work schedule said I was working the night shift 2 hours ago, and it was going to last until right around now. But we were not very busy at all, so they started dismissing some employees. And I asked, and they said, "Yeah, you can go home as well." And I'm like, "Oh, thank God," because I was a little bit bummed out like about a week ago when they announced this schedule, and I was missing out this particular race. I'm like, "Oh no!" But then today came in. I got very fortunate with the opportunity to come over, leave early from work, or get dismissed with permission from work, and then go on and do not only this race, but also dominating both race one and race two, which took me by surprise. I think I would like to thank Warren Johnson for that because Warren in the pre-race during practice said, "You're going to win this race anyway."
Warren Johnson is rarely wrong, as he has the crystal ball and can see into the future most of the time at the very least. Edwin, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank here in Victory Lane?
I'd like to thank Warren Johnson for creating this season, for creating the GTF challenge. Pretty thankful for the opportunity for that. Shout out to Techsport Racing for having to represent on their behalf, especially for the sim team as well. We're going to be trying to do the 6 hours of Road America on the last slot, so I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to thank you for this interview, Sagar. Thank you so much, and for producing and broadcasting this series. I'd like to thank Twitch chat right now that I'm streaming right now, and for those on YouTube watching, hello, hi, welcome, and thank you for supporting me here. And last but not least, to all the supporters, friends, and family of the West Coast Sim Racing League. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Edwin, for joining us, and thank you very much for your support here at West Coast Sim Racing. Have a great night, brother, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too.
With that being said, folks, we're going to wrap things up. Folks, it's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, as always. On behalf of West Coast Sim Racing, on behalf of AK Esports, been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, as always. But all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this, unfortunately. Have a great night, and remember, as always, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't